She was a liar. Yup, yup. She was a liar. Yup, yup. She was a liar. Yup, yup. Okay? It's giving she be lying because she lying, and she had lied because she be lying. She was a liar. Yup, yup. Okay? And good morning to the people. I am here not for a long time, but just for a piece of a good time. I just wanted to tap in and talk about Real Housewives. All right. And when I say she was a liar, yup, yup. I am talking about Monique. I'm talking about Monique. I know the people gonna feel away, and that's fine. Okay. But I just wanted to, let y'all know that right out of the gate. And we got a few things that we're gonna get into. Now, first of all, it has been shambles in the land of Real Housewives, I have to say. You know, child. So the reunion happening, to Kenya, putting her statement out about not attending the reunion, and then apologizing for it, to the seating chart to drop and people not be in agreement about that, to Miss Edie filing a $20 million lawsuit against NBC Universal, Bravo. Girl, it has been in shambles, ain't it? It has been like shaking the table and stuff. It's just been so much going on. Okay. And then we come back and we done learned that Monique Samuels, formerly of Real Housewives of Potomac, is now going to be returning. And we will get into that discussion. And I'm looking forward to us talking about that. But before we get into that, I want to tap on Miss Kenya Moore just a second, okay? And like I told y'all, I'm here for a little cute time, not a long time, all right? But Kenya did drop a video late Saturday night. First of all, for Miss Mamas to just drop a video unannounced, she did a lot of advertising, telling people like, oh, I'm going to be going live. I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop that. And she just dropped it, baby. I don't even think Kenya has made a single post over there on her over there on her page, but she done dropped it. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I think she got like over 20,000 people watching in 5 hours or whatever. I'm like, go ahead, Kenya, girl. And it was cute for me. If you have not seen it, go to Kenya Moore's page. I believe it's Kenya Moore Official. And she dropped it, and it was just so cute. And I'm like, girl, why you ain't been like doing something like this? It's called, like, her little segment is called Life Twirls On, and I think that's so cute. And she talks about different stuff. Like, yeah, she touches on the Real Housewives of it all, but she talked about like Kris Jenner and stuff. She talked about people doing they social media drama online, and probably taking things too far. Like, the show was really cute, guys. Okay, but that's just my personal, because everybody feels different ways, but I enjoyed it. Now, it was two things I wanted to highlight from when she did this sit down, right? The first thing was this post that I put up over here on the Twitter. All right, where she's pretty much calling out some bloggers and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I've been seeing people speculate, but I really don't know who this woman talking about. Okay, I just know that she's talking about somebody, and I want us to check it out if you haven't already seen it.
But something happened today that just really pissed me off. Actually, it didn't piss me off. It's just like, you kind of ask yourself, well, how famous am I? Because you just really never know how famous you are until stupid stuff like this happens all the time. People have been stalking the salon, okay? Kenya Moore Hair Spa is open. We do customers every single week. However, there have been some crazies that are reporting, oh, it looks abandoned, no one's coming in, we're not doing business. I just have one question. Why do you care? Is it your money? I spent the $300,000 to open this place, not you. So these trolls decide to try to ruin my business, leave 1-star reviews on Google. They've never set foot in the Kenya Moore Hair Salon, and it's really getting weird. If this business closes, I have other means of income. I have other businesses, and I have money. So what do you have? Time. That's what you have.
Not time.
A lot of time. I don't have the time. So I'm busy working, okay? I'm booked and busy. Whether you see people coming in here or not, it's still a place of business that I pay for. So if it's not your money and you're not paying my rent, why do you care? I understand the stalking nature of some of these predatory bloggers, not all bloggers, because sometimes it's just reporting what's happening.
Right.
I get clicks, that makes the money. So I get that. I'm a business to them. And this is my business. And I will continue to do charity work and pay people's bills. The food you're eating now, I paid for. The rent you pay because you don't own a house probably. It's just nonsense, okay? Literally, I saw a video of someone calling my salon, pranking my salon, and for what? Because I'm paying your bills? Because my money that I have that I earn because I'm self-made from the time I was 17 years old. I never had to get on my knees or on my back to make $1.
I know that's right.
Okay, I'm talented, I'm educated, I'm smart, and I'm driven, and I'm favored. So no matter what happens to this salon, I told you guys when I did the first confessionals, I had a dispute with the landlord. The landlord has not given me back my TIA, that's tenant improvement allowance. I was allotted $79,000 some $100
because she
to
improved
improve
his
this
space.
place.
You built a whole floor.
I built an entire second floor. I have not gotten a penny back from that. So if I'm not paying rent and they're not paying me TIA, we're at an impasse. So something has got to give. So whether that means I'm going to be in here next year, next month, next week, we'll see. So keep trying because I'm just going to climb regardless if I'm here or not.
And then she went on to say, thank you. Okay. For me personally, I feel like Kenya gathered some people. Okay. I don't know who she talks about, but she was definitely getting the people together and trying to get them up off her back. All right. And something she said was the TIA, right? Her coming in, improving the space, and the owner not paying her that money back. There may be some agreement between the two where it's like, since I'm unable to pay you, then you'll, divide that up amongst however much you are expected to pay in rent or leasing this location, and then we'll just do it like that. That could be a situation, but then let me tell you something. He could have potentially not said that, and I would leverage it too, because I'm not going to come in, improve your space. It's been confirmed that you're supposed to give me $79,000 back, and think that I'm about to continue to pay rent on this and I ain't get my $79,000 back. But then that also makes sense too. Why not have an agreement with the landlord to where, hey, he probably can't afford to give her that money back. So let me compensate you by allowing you to hold this space for also many months until that tenant improvement allowance has been completed, you know what I'm saying, or met or whatever. So that makes sense. So if I don't know how much she pays over there, because it's not far from Buckhead. I think it's probably like, I don't know. They may consider it Buckhead. It's like probably a 10-minute, if that 15-minute drive, but it's a good location. So I don't know. She could be paying $5,000 in rent. I don't know what that cost is. Maybe it's $3,000 or something, right? But with him owing that, I also feel like you can't be going up on her rent every month either, because you still owe her that $79. So I don't know what she pays or when she may have stopped paying or whatever the case is. Maybe she's, after being there a year and a half, she could have realized this man ain't giving me my money back. Okay, well then how about this? Okay, and even if you try to take me to court, it's not going to matter because you still owe me money. So which one to do? But again, there could have been an agreement between she and her landlord to where if she's not paying anything, then cool. So in a sense, she ain't got to have nobody there for real. It will behoove you too, but she ain't paying SHI. But the most that I would think she's paying would be like utilities and stuff, unless that is also included in the lease, and not necessarily sure. But I would think, although it may appear as though she doesn't have to have nobody or seem like she doesn't have to have anybody, because she's probably going to be in that space for another year or two based on what he owes her in comparison to the lease, it still will look good to have some people because, for your business, you want to show that you are doing great in business, you are being successful, you're getting people in the doors and stuff like that. So should you decide to shut this location down, and yes, Chambly's not far from Buckhead. But I kind of lost my train of thought there. But that's what I was saying. If she were to shut down this location and opened up another one, like that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But you still want to make sure you're getting people in the doors and stuff. And I think that if she were to be able to come back to Housewives, I think that'd be great for her, or just getting a good marketing team really in general. Because you could be a part of Housewives and they still won't really show your stuff like that, right? Because I feel like they ain't really been showing her salon, not for real, right? And I don't know if it's because they don't want to show it, if they feel like she doesn't have many clients coming in and don't want to show it. Not sure what the case is, but I feel like Ken could get her a little show off of that hair salon. You know what I'm saying? Having some folks work for her or whatever the case is. But good luck to Miss Kenya on that. But she definitely had to get a few people up off of her. Okay, girl. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about Kenya in that situation. Shout out to everybody that's here in the chat. Okay, on this cute little Sunday. All right, y'all already know what I'm finna ask for, child. Y'all already know how I be giving it up when y'all don't give it up. Okay. So yeah, a lot of people have been under the comments, sharing their thoughts on who they feel like she's talking to, but I don't know. I don't know who she ain't say no name, so I'm not finna say no name. I don't know who she talking to. Okay, she just gathered some people. Now, what else did I want us to get into? Because like I said, I'm here for a cute little time, not much of a long time. Whew. And as I said earlier, she was a liar. Yep, she was a liar. Yep. Matter of fact, let me get this up. Just a little piece. I want to play this for a quick second, okay?
Yeah, no, I was done. Because to me, I've had tough edits the whole time I've been on Housewives, and I was accustomed to tough edits. But when you don't hold people accountable, when they're doing some really nasty stuff behind the scenes and behind the backs, and you know it, and you have the power to show the full story and hold everybody accountable, and you choose not to, that's when I knew enough was enough. There was never going to be fairness for me. It was always me who had to apologize and be accountable. But when it was supposed to be in my direction, that never happened. So at what point do you say enough is enough? So there's nothing that they could have done outside of show the full truth. If they would have came with that final part of that reunion and they would have really put the full story out there, that would have been something that I could build upon. Get some real apologies from these women who were so nasty to even have my baby's name in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Get some real talk around that whole situation. And then maybe we could have had, a future. But at the point where I showed you, you really don't care. And you would literally just stomp on me and keep stomping on me. Why would I give you the benefit of coming back and doing anything that involves that network or that production company?
Yeah. And you said that you had sent them all of the a digital file of the whole binder. Is that right?
Yes.
So anywho, I just wanted to get to the part where she said she ain't want to have nothing to do with that network for real ever again. But that was clocked back in 2022, right? It's just I have so many thoughts, y'all. So I'm gonna try to get everything out just a bit. So for the people that may be a bit confused, Monique Samuels of Real Housewives of Potomac left the show after an altercation that took place between she and Candiace season 5 or whatever the case was. She went on to do a show over on OWN Network with Carlos King called Love and Marriage DC. She did one season of that and then she ended up leaving the show. Now it's being announced that she's going to be returning to Real Housewives of Potomac, and a lot of fans are excited. Some are confused, and some could care less. Some don't want to see her. It's a lot going on. Now, the reason why this may be a bit confusing for some people is because they announced that Monique is returning, right? And when they brought this up to Monique back in April on this post, somebody says it's a post going around on Twitter saying you coming back to Real Housewives of Potomac for season 10. Is that true? Monique says, not true, boo. Not true, boo. Okay? Not true, boo. Now, I'm going to give her a little piece of the benefit of the doubt, right? At the time, it's possible that she wasn't going to be coming back. Right? Maybe she wasn't going to come back. And then conversations happened and here we are at the top of June and now it's confirmed that she's coming back, right? But then at the same time, my assumption, right, is that if this conversation got brewed up, because any other time before, I don't feel like there's been a lot of conversation about her returning as we thought she was connected to Love and Marriage DC, right? So when the conversation started to brew, it made me think as I look back at it now that you may have been out filming with these ladies or caught with them of some fashion. And even that within itself is interesting when you say that you pretty much don't want to have anything to do with these ladies, especially after they had, your child's name in their mouth. All right. So that's that. Okay. Another thing I wanted us to get into because it's a lot of thoughts, right? About her returning. Let me see the next thing I wanted to tap into with Monique before we get into that. Okay. Talked about that. Okay. I feel like Monique returning, I'm not necessarily mad at her returning. I know a lot of fans don't want to see her. I feel indifferent in a sense. Like, hey, I figured if times were to get tough enough, she would return. You guys know she's no longer married to Chris, and we'll get into that in a second, but she's no longer married to him. I don't know how money may or may not have changed for her. Shortly after her getting that divorce from Chris, she ended up leaving the radio station that she kind of left Love and Marriage DC for in an effort to focus on that radio station. And then she ended her marriage, and then also left the radio show. So what else is going on? Yes, she has Mila Eve Essentials, and that is something that she sells, but also being on a public platform could be very helpful for selling those very items. And I think Monique is extremely knowledgeable in, what it is that she sells, right? Essential oils and stuff, right? So I don't really fault her, but what I do find to be hilarious, and it's a few things that's hilarious to me. One, it's the fans saying that she's needed, right? And not so much as the needed part, it's more of the ratings part for me that y'all got me cackling. And the reason why it's so funny is because y'all was the same people that was saying that Phaedra wasn't going to bring anything to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And if you think Monique is crazy to me. I don't think Monique is going to elevate the ratings. I think Monique and Candiace together would elevate the ratings, right? Because the last time they were on the show together, it was such a big topic. And I don't, and you guys, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, Monique wasn't pulling them numbers like that over there on Love and Marriage DC, and they created the show around her, So, yeah, no, I just, I don't see her doing that on this show. I could see the numbers staying the same. It's probably going to give ebbs and flows similar to Real Housewives of Atlanta, honestly. But if you think she's going to come in and just change all of this up, it's crazy. And what makes it even more crazier, in my opinion, is y'all are overlooking the fact that this lady is a friend of. She is not going to be a full-time housewife. And I'm not surprised at her being a friend of, because I don't think Monique wants y'all in her business like that. Right? Like Cynthia, I'm gonna give you what I want to give you. I'm gonna pop in here, there, I'm gonna slide out, like, girl, whatever. Okay, that's what Cynthia's on. Cynthia, we didn't really see her a whole lot, and I'm thinking that may be the same thing with Monique. And I can't fault her for returning, because if you didn't like Housewives, right, but they're presenting you with the opportunity, and a person that's a mother of 3 kids who not finna take it and get the check, right, and then I can kind of do it in the way that I want, just a little bit. I may not have control over editing, but I don't have to be required to meet with people I don't like all day long and have forced conversations and all of that. Like, I could just give y'all a little piece here or there, and then I could just move on about my business, right? So I'm not surprised. And because of the position in which she's expected to return to the show, I just don't, I don't think it's going to be as huge as people are making it, unless they change her position to a full-time flute, and Monique's okay with that. But I don't see that. I don't think she wants people in her business like that with where she is, And I also feel like when Monique got that divorce from Chris, and that's another part that's so funny. So let me say this. When Monique got that divorce from Chris, she didn't want people in her business. She made sure the records were sealed. So why would she go to a reality show to allow people to want to pry into her divorce and stuff? She ain't gonna want to give y'all all of that. Okay, maybe this is her way, and she might come back as a full-time as she eases her way back into the group as a friend. I don't think that's a non-smart move. I don't think that's a bad move in my personal. But what I find when I'm thinking about the husband and stuff, it's so funny to me. Another moment that is quite hilarious to me, right, is the fact that y'all remember when People magazine back in October came out with this statement, letting people know that Real Housewives of Potomac alum Monique Samuels and husband Chris are separating after 10 years of marriage. Now, keep in mind, just prior to them making this statement, Ashley Darby was down at BravoCon, and she also said that they were supposed to be separating, or they were separating, or they were going through a hard time, or whatever it was. Remember that? Monique didn't like that, okay? But Ashley literally spilled the beans, and she did it so comfortably, like just on some, just like she didn't think that was wrong. She said it like everybody else probably knew or something, like, but girl, that's one thing, child. Ashley will get your business and start acting like everybody knew, so she'll just get the flying off at the mouth, child. One thing about Ashley Darby, everybody can't trust her. They can't trust her. Anywho, So after People Magazine put this story out, right? I'll never forget this. I will never forget this. Monique and Chris came to the front, girl, and this is what they had said. I have got to get to this.
Be ashamed of themselves.
Let me refresh. Let me refresh. And she still got the post up.
Ashamed of themselves.
No. Because I want y'all to hear. Let me refresh this and see if it'll play over here. Because I want y'all to hear who she said messed up.
People Magazine ought to be ashamed.
People Magazine ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Ashamed of themselves.
Yep.
They created an article without any confirmation, without any statement from the married couple. It's supposed to be a credible source. And they said, we're going to run with the story anyway.
I have to do my roll call for us to get to 200 likes. So shout out to the people watching. If you can help us get to 200 likes, that'd be great. Thank you so much.
No fact check. None of that. I said, Lord, thank you for a strong woman that held me down when I was asleep for 12 years. Literally, not 12 years. And that was after I retired. 12 years.
Shut up. This lady saw my son 12 years a slave. No, she legit felt like that. She legit felt like that, though.
When God says he gives you a helpmate, he gave me the perfect helpmate. Because literally when I was in sleep mode, not passionate about anything, and I put a stamp on everything of what I provided, that wasn't what she wanted. She wanted me. She wanted vulnerability. She wanted me to talk to her in depth.
Intimate conversation.
Right. She wanted equal partnership, not the money. She wanted me to put input into the family. And I love my family. I love them the way I thought they should be loved. But at the end of the day, it wasn't until I went down to Florida. Shout out to Caleb Thornton. Like Caleb literally set this whole thing up, and I won't give his whole story of why he set it all up. But I'm in a room with 20 other guys that felt like I felt, retired NFL guys, not passionate about anything because they didn't understand that it was all about football. Now that we're transitioned over, what's next?
Do you really think that something this major, we would allow somebody else to speak for us? We would be giving a statement. We would be telling you, and I would be giving an exclusive on my own darn platform.
Well, that happened. Because remember the conversation, that's when Monique does go on to try and tell the people that in that same video that they had been living in two different houses. He's living in the one house, she living in the other house. And he's like, girl, you want us to believe that y'all not separated? But she was trying to say it was a way for them to bring the spark back. Now, I feel like there may have been a little bit of truth in that them living in two different homes was a way to try to get that spark back so he could feel like he's dating her again. But at the same time, baby, it was giving separated love. It was giving, and that's okay, right? Things happen in relationships, totally understand, but I think it's just being honest about it. So should Monique return to reality TV? That's just what I want from her. Like, that's one of the reasons why I was not crazy about her when she first came on the show. I felt like she was one of those people that always had to like impress others a little bit. I can't even like put a name on it, but you know, I would say impress or overly hype, for lack of better words, right? How she was. Like, yeah, some people may start as she just saying, no, I have 4 homes. Like, yeah, maybe she needed to tell Gizelle that. Like, girl, yeah, like you trying to damn, like, girl, I got 4 homes. But at the same time, it came with a little bit of I ain't never have SHI, and I need this to validation. She was seeking a form of validation, and that right there, she just didn't give off genuine for me, and I always felt that way. So when she got over to Love and Marriage DC, and I already saw some of her characteristics on Potomac. A lot of her fans kind of turned on her when she got over there, and I'm like, I don't know what fuck. Like she been like that. Like what? Like y'all ain't seen it before. And then what further confirmed it for me was when she did the interview earlier this year or at the end of December. It was either the end of 2024 or the top of 2025. She did this interview with this guy. And she pretty much, I really liked that interview with Monique because I felt like she was, for me, being more honest than I felt I've seen her. And she honestly was clocking herself about stuff I've already seen about her. So I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, maybe she has grown a bit. She's learning some stuff. I'm like, this is stuff that I've already saw about you. And I can't think of the name of it, but if y'all just type in Monique interview, it's like 6 months ago, I think, and it's with some guy. I can't think of his name. And I talked about it on my channel before, but y'all could go back and watch that interview. But I thought that was a good one. So if she gonna return to the show, just be honest, Mo, because for real, you can't escape, like, you know, when it comes, like, look at Miss Edie. You know what I'm saying? And granted, you guys are on two different levels. That's a fact. However, I feel like social media has grown and watching reality show has grown to a completely different place where when people feel like you are not being an authentic individual, they are going to do a deeper dive on you. Okay? And when people felt like this article that came out and said, "Oh, you guys are separated," and then they just heard Ashley say the same thing, and then you turn around and you try to sit up there and say, "Oh no, that's not true," and y'all did a video together, flashing y'all rings and stuff like we still happily married or whatever the case is, only for y'all to end up filing for a divorce either a year or less than a year later. People trying to dig, and you already knew the way that it was going. That's why you was like, "Oh no, shut that down, lock it all down, honey, lock it down. Don't let them see. No, they can't see all that, and I'll keep your stuff private." I think a lot of people really should do that when they're going through their divorce, because if not, it can really get like really muddy and messy out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like that makes people dive deeper. And when you come onto the show, if they give you more, camera time, confessionals, and having you on this show, knowing the last time we saw you, you were married, and to come back onto this show and you're not married, they might want to have a quick confessional like they did with Cynthia learning about her new man. They might want to know a little something, you know what I'm saying? And I just say, just be honest how you were in that interview that you did earlier this year. Like it just, it just wasn't what it was, even though you tried to, package it up a certain way to Gizelle and them. And maybe that's why Gizelle and them was kind of acting a certain way, because they saw right through it too. They saw the BS. Like, girl, you was not happy. Like, you be performative as hell. That could have been it. I don't know. But, just keep it honest, because really you can't avoid the scrutiny on social media and stuff. Like, it is what it is, so that's that. But let me tell y'all furthermore why I thought this was so fucking funny to me. It was hilarious. I said, girl, not these the same people that you drug and said that they put out a story about you and your husband at the time, and they this, that, and the other, but they the main ones giving us the exclusive about you returning. Girl, that is a cackle to me. That was a cat. So I'm like, basically, they didn't get it wrong when they got it wrong. When you felt like they got it wrong, or you wanted us, in my opinion, to think that they got it wrong. They didn't. They knew what the tea was. I feel like a lot of times People Magazine be more in tune with RHOA than anybody else. So with that being said, they was dead on the money. And I think the part that would make Monique look bad, in my opinion, would be coming to the internet with her husband to shape a certain narrative of things. And that was also another thing I ain't really like when that whole stuff went down in season 5. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't got to go back down that road, okay? But that's that. They're saying Monique Samuels returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Potomac season, 10? All right, she's going to be in a supporting role. All right, the move follows her 2023 divorce from her husband, Chris Samuels, after 11 years of marriage. And right now they have Gizelle Bryant, Ashley Darby, Wendy Osefo, all women that she is familiar with, and she's the closest to Ashley Darby. So I'm willing to believe she's going to come on the show as a friend of Ashley Darby. When it comes to Wendy Osefo, I don't think they have much of an issue. I think Wendy was closer with Candiace, so she wanted to be in support of Candiace at that particular time. But I don't think they really had like a real beef, and I feel like Wendy could have been new to the group at that time, so she's trying to find her footing as well. So if the majority is like, but you gotta go, then who the hell am I to come up against them? Like, okay, well, and I think I saw a few years ago, I think Monique tried to send some support or something to Wendy, or it was something positive from Monique towards Wendy Osefo. So I don't know. They might be cool on the show. They might be straight. Right? Y'all remember Ashley of Love and Marriage DC? I can't think of her last name at this time, but she was dating DJ Ashley Silva, the woman married to DJ Quicksilver. Well, she was friends with Monique, obviously, and she also was friends with Candiace. So it's very possible that, I don't know if she's still friends with Monique at this time, not sure, but there was a time where she was friends with both of them. So if Wendy was able to find something in Monique that she liked and wanted to befriend her, okay. Okay, they can have two separate, relationships, her and Candiace and her and Monique. And then the difference would be at this time, her and Candiace may have a real relationship outside of the show. I'm not sure. But I will say that she has to work with Monique, and if you're not on the show, for me to feel like I got to put something up against her, then let me get the actual, let me try to actually get to know her and see who she is. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, my shoulders are shrugged. I think the only thing that really makes me side-eye is the fans talking about the ratings. Watch the ratings. The ratings finna, they finna. Relax. Relax. It's probably going to get the same energy you said Phaedra was going to give to Atlanta. Relax. And guess what? Phaedra she damn near giving friend of too. Coming at the tail end. I don't think it's going to be that impactful. Y'all put too much. Y'all know how y'all feel like people be putting too much on Drew. Y'all be giving Drew too much. No, you giving Mo too much. Calm down. You giving Mo too much. Mo probably don't even want all that. She probably don't even want all that hype you trying to spill over on there to her. Okay, Mo, like, I'm just trying to tiptoe in, be a little piece of a friend, tiptoe out with my coins, take care of these kids. Okay, you putting a little too much on it. Okay, don't let season 5 and a bitty bop boom boom get y'all up. Okay. Don't let that confuse y'all for real viewership. Don't do that. Because that's the reason everybody was tuned in, was because of the situation that happened and so much back and forth in conversations. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if I make you mad, then let me just say this.
I get on their ass. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad. Yeah, somebody gotta do it.
So feel away today, tomorrow, every day. I don't care. But let's keep going. Let's see what else they're saying about this real quick, because I don't think it's a whole lot, because I do want to get into some photos and video before I get out of here. They're saying production for the show is currently underway in Maryland. Okay, Kiana's coming back. Stacey will be there, obviously. I think they said we may be getting like a new housewife or two. So we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. So Monique is at a totally different place now, and fans will see that. They're saying she's excited to show who she is now, not as a wife, not as just a mom, but as a woman starting over and taking on life on her own terms. Okay. Monique, I don't ever want to hear you say that you don't want to do reality TV. I've heard that too much in different interviews. And one time you even said Chris was the reason you're doing reality TV. It is perfectly okay for you to want to do it because that is something that you want to do. That is totally fine. Okay? You ain't got to downplay nothing or none of that. If you don't really know the answer, don't give me no answer that you think we want to hear. Just say, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds when it comes to returning to the show. The place that I'm at right now, I'm not really interested, but that could change. That could change at any moment. Okay? That's all it took. That's all it took. It didn't take no that other show. We ain't going to talk about that other show. That other show. Like, you know, they had to hit me like this and they had to hit me like that. Like, why would I ever want to come back and work with y'all? Because the chicks could be useful at this time. We will take a check that's useful. We also will take an audience that's bigger than owns. We will take it. We would take it. Okay, 200 extra thousand viewers. I'll get that. You know what I'm saying? May give me a few more orders and stuff. Like, yes, let me come back. And then also, if you are trying to, like you said, step into a new light, you're just a mom now. You're no longer a wife. Whatever the case is, you may have had fans that didn't like you from seasons before when you were on the show. You may have fans that turned on you. I think this may be kind of good for her to come back and like introduce a new person, maybe change whatever narratives that may be out there, negative narratives that may be out there about her. So, I mean, I don't really see nothing wrong with it. With her returning, I mean, hey, a lot of reality stars come to the front and say what they not gonna do, and then 2-3 years down the line, they realize, oh no, girl, I need that. My bad. Let me come back. You know, but not all jobs gonna take people back, right? When you go out and you talk that SHI and you whatever, try and down talk to them, make it seem like it's so bad, whatever the case is, then they're not gonna always take you back. So I mean, I would say shout out to her for being able to get that opportunity and wanting to accept that opportunity. It ain't gotta be all bad. Y'all just stop overhyping folks. Okay, like calm down, girl. Anywho, child. That's pretty much it. That's all that I got at this particular time. I just wanted to come and give you guys an update. Oh, I did want to show this, okay? These were some photos and stuff that of Miss Monique with the ladies, okay? I'm not going to play the audio because I don't know what's being played, but it looks like Gizelle's oldest daughter is out there with her. Monique is behind. You got Stacey, Didi bopping around. Please give my girl some rhythm this month. GNA out there. Let me tell y'all something. One thing about it, you know, the gay community really be supporting Ashley Darby. And shout out to y'all. Because Ashley knows, and it's no disrespect, that is the only community that she can go to that's going to support flat vocals. when it comes to her. Okay? Child, I feel like she slipped be playing in the people's face, but y'all know Ashley is a woman that says that she is, she likes men, she likes women, she does her thing. So that's also her community as well. But girl, Ashley, I see you every year, she partners with them. And I'm not saying don't partner with them, but I'm asking what else you working on? Did they film when you took your ass down there and had them flat vocals on their show, messing up their latest song? And did you try to redo it that night in a bar? Did they get that? Are we gonna see that, Ashley? Cause you stay, girl. Y'all know I be on Ashley here. Ashley, I be trying. I'm gonna give her a chance. I'm gonna give her another chance this upcoming season, though. I am, cause I be wanting to like Ashley. I be wanting to see what everybody else see in her. So Monique out there. Ashley got her beard on. Okay. There go the ladies. You got Wendy, Kiana. There's another lady on the end. Not sure who she is. You have Ashley, Gizelle. You have Monique next to Gizelle. And also Stacy. I do question if they're going to have a conversation, considering the fact that, Monique is a friend of. I'm wondering if there's going to be a conversation being had with her and Gizelle, or if she may feel like it don't have to be because she's not a main character on the show right now, so we don't have to talk. But when she comes on the show, we will. Not sure how that's going to be. And just because Monique is standing next to Gizelle as she takes this photo, I don't make anything of it. Sometimes for a quick shot, housewives see no issue but by standing next to a person they're not rocking with just for photo time. So it's not, that big of a deal to me, but it's a shot of the ladies. Okay, so it's a shot. So I see two new ladies on the end. So this might be the cast. I don't know who these other two ladies are, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I am here for it all. Okay, now you guys can sound off in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts about what we discussed. Miss Kenya Moore tapping on some heads, and also Monique Samuels returning to Real Housewives of Potomac. All right. That's all I got for you guys. Of course, I'm Jami. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter and Blue Sky at JamiThatsMe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man? They say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film. I can feel the pool.